Why, hello. Today we're talking about quadrilaterals. All of your favorite friends that have four sides and are polygons are quadrilaterals. That means things like rectangles and squares and trapezoids and parallelograms and rhomboids, rhombi. All right, so let's take a look at quadrilaterals. First thing, let's break down the word quadrilateral. Quad means four, lateral means sides. So, four sides. So, we're talking about four sided polygons. That means they have four sides, four angles, four vertices, all that wonderful stuff. So, let's take a look. Um, yeah, there's some quadrilaterals. So, what do you see? What kind of quadrilaterals might you see in this picture? Looks like we have some rectangles, we have some squares, if you include the whole thing. If you include like four of those sections, it's still a square. Six of those sections, it's a rectangle again. So I see a lot of quadrilaterals in here. So here's some quadrilaterals. We have a square, rectangle, parallelogram, just a regular quadrilateral, trapezoid, and that looks like might be a rhombus. So four-sided polygons are quadrilaterals. Quad means four. They didn't say lateral means side. They should have said that. Okay, so here is your most complicated quadrilateral. It's the first one that you probably learned ever, like on Sesame Street or something. But this is the most complicated quadrilateral because it has four 90-degree angles. So it's a rectangle, it has four congruent sides, so it's also a rhombus. So this is a quadrilateral. It's also a rectangle. It's also a rhombus. And if it's a rectangle, it's also a parallelogram. So this is not only a square, but it's a quadrilateral. It is a parallelogram because it has two sets of parallel sides. These, oops, those go on forever, never touch. These go on forever, never touch. My lines look terrible, but you get it. It has four congruent sides, so it's a rhombus, and it has four 90-degree angles, so it's a rectangle. So there we go. And it's all of those things. This is not only a square, but it's also a quadrilateral, also a parallelogram, also a rhombus, and also a rectangle. Pretty complicated for a square, huh? Don't say squares are lame because they are complicated. So all sides are congruent, has all right angles, all congruent angles, so all of them are the same. Should also say opposite sides are parallel, like we said with those bad lines I drew earlier. So all of those things make up the square. Okay, so here's a rectangle. A rectangle is all the things that a square is, except for it does not have four congruent sides. So a rectangle is not a rhombus because it doesn't have four congruent sides. But a rectangle has four right angles. It's kind of in German, rect means right. So you're basically looking at right angles. Here's one right angle, two right angles, three right angles, four right angles. That's what it takes to make a rectangle is right angles. So it's in the name. So all the opposite sides are congruent. So I don't know why I did that for congruency. They're congruent. They show these two sides are opposite. They're the same size. These two sides are opposite. They are also the same size. Has all right angles. Has all congruent angles. All of them are 90 degrees. And the opposite sides are parallel. So kind of what I showed you with the bad lines the first time. Those opposite sides go on forever and never touch. So these are the characteristics or attributes of a rectangle. So when we come back, we'll take a look at a couple more of our quadrilaterals.